episode 45. Just keep on banging them through, and we keep on doing it. How are you this morning? It is morning for you, right? How are you this day?
It's 11 a.m. here, but I'm doing good. It's starting to heat up out here in California. I don't know how it's looking like over there, but
We haven't had triple digits yet, but we've hit mid 90s or so. Have you guys had triple digits yet?
yeah, we've hit like hundreds last week, but I was hearing on the news that you're in Texas, it's like weird right now. It's like up and down.
Yeah, I mean that's always kind of the case. Like we'll have like a low in like I mean this isn't often what I'm about to say, but it does happen yearly. There'll be a low in like the upper 30s, and then in that same day there might be a high in the 80s or something like that.
The
So
same 30s to 80s. That's crazy.
yeah, again, I don't want to make it sound like this happens all the time, but if annually is all the time, then yes, there will be a day that has this wild swing. But just know our summers are just ridiculously long and hot. And yes, I mean the summer for us lasts 9 months, just about. It's very hot most of the time. And then whenever it'll get cold, we aren't prepared for it because it just doesn't get cold very often. So, yeah, and
You have
also we
your
don't have snow; we have ice.
you have one jacket for that time.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, I'm kind of a cold person anyway. Are you a cold person? Do you like whenever you go just anywhere, is it like always bring a jacket with you because you get cold?
Yeah, I'm always. And I always have like chicken skin. Like there'll
Right.
be like a gust of wind and everyone's like, "What the heck? Are you cold now?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's just hot and cold. That's it."
Yeah, yes. There's no in between.
Nope.
Yes, there's completely understand. Well, we have a full thing. It's been a couple weeks since we've been
Yeah.
able to get together, so I feel like we've got a lot to be able to cover. So some of our stories today may be something that happened in the last couple weeks, and then
Yeah.
some of the stories are going to be a little more recent. By the way, I don't have this as one. This is like hot off the presses, so I don't have this on here. You're familiar with the publicly tradable ticker Circle, which owns the
Yeah.
stablecoin USDC.
Hmm.
Something's happening, man. I don't know what it is. So their stock in one day, today, if you'll pull it up for Circle, they're down 20% today.
Oh, wow.
What does people know? What do people, this is like going to be some insider stuff somewhere. Somebody knows something. Something's about to happen with USDC or Circle or yeah, with stable coins in general. People are unloading for
What's
some
your
reason.
prediction on that? On why?
My prediction is some sort of regulatory thing that happens within the next 24 to 48 hours, and that will cause. It'll be
Oh,
something
shoot.
like,
Regulatory. No.
yeah, it'll be something along the lines of, how people can get like yield from their stable coins, how they can get,
Oh,
you
they're
know,
trying to get rid of that.
right. And that would hurt USDC quite a bit and Circle quite a bit. So that is my prediction. That something crazy happens with that, but
Oh
I
no,
don't know.
let's cross our fingers it's not that. And then like for the US to try and be like the crypto capital of the world, that's not the move to make.
Man, we have been wanting for so long for the US to be, the crypto capital of the world, to have an administration that really loved crypto. And I guess we got our wish, but I feel like we've went
It's not
about
good
it just
enough.
well, it's not just it's not good enough. It's just like the current administration did it so wrong. We're talking meme coins and what is it called? Liberty World Financial. All of this I feel like was the wrong way to go about it.
Yeah,
And
it doesn't seem so serious.
it does not seem so serious. And even whenever we do need something serious, it doesn't seem that we can kind of pull that. Well, and this gets into why crypto was created. It wasn't created to work with governments, it was created to kind of work against government. And yeah, the fact that this current administration is trying to make it their own just is kind of against the idea of crypto.
Right.
Anyway, if anybody is new here, I am the voice of DeFi. This is Christine Barnum. We are going to go over all of these little topics right here next to Christine's head. After we do those, we're going to go over some more topics after that. We do have a link. I've put it on my timeline, and Christine probably has already, but if she hasn't, look for that link, and you can chat with us. You can get in here, and you can say like, hey, what's up? I've got a comment to say on that story because we're going to go over all of these stories. These stories will be about crypto, tech, and just a little bit of the whimsical in there mixed in as well. All right, with that being said, let's get this party started. Uh, Haley Welch, do you know who she is? You know who Haley Welch is?
No, but the name sounds familiar. Who is she?
She said one time this phrase that made her famous: "You got to give it that hawk tua."
Oh, that
Spit on
girl.
that thing.
Yeah.
Yes, that girl. Okay. So she has came out of silence. She came out of the hole that she was in. She woke up from her nap, and she's on the podcast circuit now. And if you'll remember, right after she said "spit on that thing," she came out with a little meme coin called Hawktua
Haktua.
or something like that. Yeah, it's Hawk or something like that. And immediately it rugged.
Of
And
course.
so now I want to know what you think about this, Christine. Here's what she said on the podcast. She doesn't understand crypto. She never has understood crypto. She says that whenever she became famous, some people approached her and
Of
said like, "Oh, you
course.
could make this Hawk Tuah coin, and you could give some portion to charity, and people will be able to use it to buy like food for sheltered dogs and things like that." And so they were giving her all this story, and then she says she's doing an interview and they're going to like release that day for the token. And she says she can see some people like pacing around. Like, why is everybody like pacing? What's going on? And she says, as she continues to ask, they're like, well, you're going to see some things online. And the things online were like, oh my gosh, Haley Welch, Hawk Tuah girl rugged us, that sort of thing. And she said, I had no idea. I did not know anything about what this was. I had to talk with FBI people, and they were like, said something about a phantom wallet. She's like, she said, I still don't know to this day what a phantom wallet is. So here's my question to you, Christine. Everything I just told you,
Okay.
is that real? Do you believe she was fooled, or do you believe she fooled us? Not me and you, but
I
people.
believe that she was fooled, and I think that we know that there is a lot of scammers in this realm, unfortunately, that take advantage of so many people that could have good intentions, especially the ones that are new. I think it's easier to take advantage of them because they have no idea how like the scams go. And if you were talking to someone that was new and they're like, "Hey, take advantage of your fame by helping dogs and cats and blah 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 and you'll get paid too," and I'm sure it was like some lucrative amount, and she's like, "Hey, that's a win-win." But
Right.
as we know, especially with like laws and regulations stepping in and everything, you should probably look into it. And I think when she did that, there was a lot of didn't Kim Kardashian and all them get in trouble for that one coin as well? So
Yes.
like you need to be careful.
Yeah, Kim Kardashian got in trouble for
Kardashian.
something called. Yeah, sorry, I had a tongue tied. She got in trouble for something called ETH Max.
Yes. Eat
So
that.
yeah, this has been done before. I tend to here. Let me go back. So because I want to stay on this topic just for a second. I tend to believe her that she said she was an idiot about crypto, and I tend to believe her. I don't think she was malicious. I think she was naive and maybe a little bit of pompous
Mhm.
because she did not listen to people. Whenever she was like, "We're going to release this," I think I was about to do an impression, and I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to go,
Yeah, do it, do it.
we're going to release this meme coin," and because she kind of got a southern thing, "We're going to release this meme coin, and y'all make sure you log in, y'all, and buy it as soon as you can." Okay, that's how she kind of talks. And whenever she started saying that, people were in the comments being like, "Don't do it, don't do it. Make a smarter choice than this." So she was told, and either she thought these stupid crypto bros don't understand the smart people that I'm talking to, or she was malicious. But I tend to think she just was naive and not very intelligent, at least for that thing. I'm sure she's got some great qualities, but at least for crypto, her intelligence, at least in this thing, was. And don't you think she regrets? Like, think about this, Christine. She could have been set for life off of spit on that thing, right? She had a podcast called Talk to Her, and she had a whole
Oh, that's
audience.
funny.
Oh yeah, that is a pretty funny one, right? And it's like talk to her, right? Talk to
Yeah.
right? It would have been great. And she did have that. And I think she could have I think she had a good enough of a personality to have a audience, and she could have at least be a middling influencer for the rest of her life. But instead, she is hated, and I guess her 15 minutes of fame are up. Is that correct to say that?
Yeah, and unfortunately, she should have just listened to people and thought about it a little bit more, and she could have really did something with maybe like in the adult industry, like selling certain things with her. Like, she could have
For sure.
collaborated. Yeah. And then proceeds could have went to, I don't know, she wanted to save dogs and cats and shelters or whatever it is. But this was a wrong way to go about it. It does make me sad though that, scammers take advantage of so many people and it doesn't make us look good. So,
Is that the way that this goes? Let's just say anybody has a, is that the way that it goes now? You're an attractive female, you get a lot of eyes on you, right? Because you say something kind of funny in front of a camera, right? And is immediately you either have somebody trying to scam you into a crypto scam or somebody trying to get you onto OnlyFans to do that. I'll give you an example where
hmm.
where that same scenario played out. Uh, uh, I'm telling you right now,
Oh,
that MFer's
you
not
you
real.
loved that girl.
I do. I do. I still do.
You're
But
like, did do.
yeah, I was about to say, and she lives local too.
Oh
But
shoot, stalker.
right, right, right. But yeah, there was that same talk. Oh, she should start an OnlyFans, or she should drop a coin. Right? Telling you
Yeah.
that
She
MFer's
was
not real coin.
MIA because she was wanted.
Right, 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 right. But the same thing happened where people tried to get her to go down one of those two paths. Haley Welch chose to go down the crypto path, but it was a bad path to go down because she was listening to people that had bad intentions that just wanted to profit off of her. So, all right, enough about Haley Welch. Don't. I'm saying this
Oh,
to celebrities because I know a lot of celebrities listen to us.
I know.
uh, right,
I
so
know.
many.
They turn to us for the
First,
celeb news. But before I forget, speaking of OnlyFans, the founder passed away this past weekend. Yeah.
was this expected?
I guess a lot of people didn't know, but he had cancer. So.
Oh my gosh.
Mm.
Can you? I'll bet you that guy didn't even know what he was creating whenever he created
No, he
OnlyFans.
didn't. He didn't, but he went with it. It became even bigger
Not
than he
even that.
thought.
Not even he was making like a gateway for porn. I think he knew that,
Oh.
but I just wonder if he knew just how successful that would be. I mean,
No, remember it started as like more for like finance bros and stuff.
well, as finance bros, and I heard of people like in doing like yoga classes off of it. Hey, sign up to
Right.
me, and you
So
can
how would he know? Let's say that could be as innocent as you and I being like, "Hey, let's have Claude make us an app and then
on
let's
our
see, let's
OnlyFans
call it
site.
OnlyFans. Let's call it OnlyFans and finance, crypto, blah blah." It's like us starting this podcast and then fast forward something happens and everyone's like, they knew what they were doing, that it was like a gateway to porn.
Completely agree. So I think that guy, God rest his soul, it sounds like, did not know the behemoth of a business that he had created. Do you remember? Because you and I actually did some show at the time when this happened, when they tried to outlaw nudity on OnlyFans. Do you remember that? And this was after it was well established of what OnlyFans was. But they had
Uh,
said, like,
I
no
don't
longer
remember.
will nudity be allowed on OnlyFans. And that lasted about like 48 hours whenever everybody was about to move on. But somehow they saved the day and went back.
That's
And
pretty funny.
yeah, yeah, they attempted to do that. I think it had something to do with banks. Where like we can't give you an account if anyway. There was something above my understanding that was
And then
happening there.
it just never happened.
And then, well, right, they backtracked and said, maybe we didn't understand our customer base. And they didn't, if that's what they were wanting to do. All right, next up, let's get into a little bit of science here. Where is my. Wait a second.
Science. I love science.
I do love science too, but just a second. I've got a problem here.
We all have problems.
We do. All right, here we go. China, you ever heard of them?
Who's that?
They genetically engineered a tomato to smell like popcorn. Okay, Chinese scientists have genetically engineered a tomato to smell like popcorn, potentially paving the way for future innovations in food science. Let me just start off with this, Christine. Would you
Okay.
eat this popcorn smelling tomato. Do you eat tomatoes at all? Do you like
I
tomatoes?
okay, so I love tomatoes. I know a lot of people don't because of whatever it is, texture and stuff, but I don't know if I need it to freaking smell like t popcorn. That's strange. Why would I need it?
I I don't like tomatoes on my burgers, but I do like just a plain tomato with a little bit of salt on top of it. Which, since I like salt on top of my plain tomatoes,
Tomato.
or tomatoes, that's right. Doesn't that make you think maybe I would like the popcorn smelling tomato? And out of all the things to make my tomato smell like, why popcorn? Why not something
That's what
different?
I'm
I don't know.
saying. Like that's so weird, popcorn.
And
Why not
also,
bacon?
ooh, oh, now you are an entrepreneur right there.
That's what I'm
Um,
saying. I
what
am.
what what whenever they were creating this, was it an accident, or I just don't understand why somebody was like, let's have a popcorn smelling. And also, how much cancer do you get from this genetically modified tomato? That this sounds like a
Right.
cancer causing
Like you don't
fruit.
need we don't need that.
Yeah, yeah. And what else? Well, let me ask you this: besides bacon, what else should it smell like? Should it smell like always food, or should there be like I don't know, perfume that it smells like? And you're just like, oh, let me cut open this tomato and kind of just rub it on me right here. It smells exactly like obsession. That's is that a
You
dating
know,
reference? I don't know.
this is what we get because we're so new to like it's like what we always say. We're in the wild, wild west with GMOs, I feel, and
Right.
like, AI and everything. We're gonna come into these transitions where they're like, hey, we made this tomato smell like a popcorn. Like it's so awesome. And like, no, it's not awesome. Keep going, like, move along.
It seems awesome, and here's the thing: I want to smell. I want to smell it for myself. Because wouldn't it make your brain just kind of short circuit to open up a tomato and put your nose up to it and you smell movie theater buttered popcorn? Wouldn't that be just a brain short circuit?
Okay, do you think that if randomly you smelled popcorn, like from a vegetable or fruit, you would think of movie popcorn? I feel like you'd be like, what's wrong with this thing?
Oh, for sure. I would think like there's something wrong with this tomato and I don't want to eat it because it
Right.
obviously is broken. It smells like Cinemark in there. And I don't know that my brain is ready for that level of aromatherapy.
Yeah, me either. And then popcorn may not smell like popcorn in different situations. Like you'd be like, oh, like something's weird. But yes, when you're associating it with popcorn in your mind, oh, yes, this does. But if you just randomly smell it in a place you're not supposed to, you're gonna be like, that's gross. What's that smell?
100%. All right, Tampa Airport. Did you go to the Tampa Airport earlier this year?
Uh, no, I think Orlando.
That was Orlando. Okay, okay. Well, here's the thing that you might not have been able to do at the Tampa Airport. They have issued a pajama ban. Okay,
This is
you
funny.
cannot wear pajamas in the Tampa Airport any
Okay, but
longer.
Gen Z just wears pajamas only.
I think that's the kind of thinking that they were like, we got to stop this. And I guess
Oh.
my question is why? Why? First of all, why does Gen Z, why do they love the pajama so much? And then second, why does the Tampa airport care that everybody's wearing pajamas? What's Tampa's thinking on this?
They're probably just I mean, it is kind of like so strange to see all these like this generation just wear pajamas and just look slop all day. But
Well,
it is what it is, and maybe they're just all old that work there and then they don't like it.
well, get this. After I tell you this next thing that they've already banned, you'll really think they're out for Gen Z. It says,
Ugh.
we've seen enough. We've had enough. It's time to ban pajamas at Tampa International Airport after successfully banning Crocs and giving everyone the amazing opportunity to experience the world's first Crocs free airport. It's time to take on an even larger, now they call it a crisis, an even larger crisis. So I don't know if this is in jest. This actually was tweeted out. This actually was posted on
From
X
them.
from them, right?
Okay.
Um, but pajamas, and then it goes on to say pajamas at the airport in the middle of the day. It says, we know this decision could be disruptive to someone in your life. It's time to have a difficult conversation with them. You can do this. We believe in you. The madness stops today. The movement starts now. helped Tampa International Airport become the first Crocs free and pajama free airport. I'm sorry, Christine, if this affects you.
It
Um,
doesn't. Like I was also like a bit bothered sometimes, like seeing our kids like, dude, what are you wearing? Like it's constantly like sweats, like
you're
tank
like,
and
could you put a
sweats.
little effort in?
Right,
Right.
tank and sweats and Crocs, tank and pajama pants and Crocs, and you're like, what is happening? And then I guess it just starts just like everything else. You see it enough everywhere, and you're like, oh, I guess they just want to be comfy.
I mean, I like to be comfy. I do. But around the house, I feel like that's one thing. Okay, just the tank and the sweats and the Crocs around the house, I don't see as much of a big deal for that. Whenever you leave the house, especially to the airport, I don't know. And also with Crocs, I don't want to go with Crocs on the airport. I feel like my feet are too close to nastiness because the airport floor is just nasty, and those
Right.
holes let in all the
I want to
germs.
know, do you have Crocs?
I do. I do own Crocs. I do own Crocs. I don't usually wear them outside the house though.
Do your kids dress in like pajama pants and sweats outside?
Crocs, yes. Pajama pants, no.
Okay.
Now they
Would
will
they
wear
want to?
pajamas.
They want to, and
Yeah,
you
they
don't
would
want
want
to.
to. They haven't got them. They're pretty young, but they haven't gotten to that point of wanting to wear pajamas like outside the house. And also, they're young enough where I'm like, get dressed before we leave, and they'll do it. Now I
Yeah.
know that time will end sometime soon, but
Right.
yeah, for now I'm like, no, the hell you won't. You're gonna get dressed.
It's so funny. I've never tried on Crocs, but yeah.
I
I
mean,
refuse.
think their time. Uh, have you ever seen the movie Idiocracy?
Yes, I reference it all the time because I feel that we're
Headed
closer
there,
and
or
closer.
maybe are there.
Yes. Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
here's what's funny. Whenever Mike Judge made Idiocracy, he told the showrunners that were to be getting wardrobe and everything, he said, go out and find me the stupidest shoes you can find. Okay.
Hmm.
Crocs weren't really a thing yet, but they
Right.
were made.
And this
And
is
so they
years
went out
ago.
and they went out and they found
Crocs.
these new shoes called
Hmm.
Crocs and put them on. So in Idiocracy, they're all wearing Crocs on there in the future. And it's just not because they were popular at the time, because Mike Judge said, go out and find an ugly pair of shoes. And that's what
Correct.
they got.
That's what
So,
makes me feel like we're in a simulation.
all right. Well, speaking of a simulation, do you remember when we grew up, it was always that uh, we've got an overpopulation risk. There's a chance that too many people are going to be on the earth and there's a finite amount of resources. Do you remember how that used to be the talk about there would
Yeah.
be too many people on the earth?
Right. And that's silly.
Right, right. And it said the media's focus on overpopulation at that time, the global risk was obviously a misplaced risk, okay? Because
Correct.
history proven has proven that that prediction is wrong.
Correct.
Now, as a matter of fact, we're worried we're not going to have enough people and nobody's
Correct.
having babies and I can have sex with a cyber whatever right on X
And make sure we never reproduce.
correct. So, yes, I think here's my point on this. The reason I think I even have this story on here is whenever everybody is freaking out about something, because used to that was the case, is everybody's freaking out about overpopulation. We got to do something about overpopulation. It's always probably a little. It's made to sound worse than it actually is. Is
Yeah. Entertainment.
what's
It's like
what's Elon's rule? The most entertaining scenario is the most likely.
the most likely. And then, it's just is what it is. Like we'll have like some serious news, but they need to dramatize because they need to freak everybody out. It sells whatever it sells. Like, they grab your attention. You go run and buy some emergency, whatever the hell you want to do.
I don't
Makes you
like it.
move. I don't like
Yeah,
it either.
well, I don't like it that everything has to be okay. You know how you said you're either a 10 of hot or a 1 of cold, right? You
Yeah,
know how you
yeah,
said you're
yeah.
one of those two? Um, how come everything, even the news stories I read, have to be, oh my gosh, it's always a 10. It's never a 1. And it's certainly not a 5 or a 6.
Yeah.
Everything is, oh my gosh, you need to be freaking out about this.
Correct. And it's because they need to grab your attention like more and more. And now, as society's attention span is like 10 seconds, like it needs to be constant, like shock value. And
I
regular
don't like it.
news without like the over dramatization, you're just like, uh-huh. Everything's like mundane and you're gonna flip through. And they make money by you staying on that screen.
Do you mean if you were to make a crypto tech and finance show that you would have to intersperse in stupid stories that talk about
Huh.
like birth inside of a Waymo and things like that to keep people
Exactly.
entertained?
And we came about that idea because just statistics, and we're like, hey, gotta do it.
Well, yeah, just a little pull back the curtain for anybody listening. Whenever Christine and I made the show, at first it's not that we were ever like stiff and would just read the news or anything. We always had it a little light, but we found that whenever we interspersed in these ridiculous stories about somebody had a fingernail collection or something that they were having, that people would stay tuned in longer than if we merely talked for an hour about crypto and finance. So yes, that's why we have things like
Isn't
the
that
fun little
wild? Like
stories.
when you think about that, like it was needed, and we're such a way micro scale compared to,
Correct.
something on TV, and it's like they have to go bigger and crazier, and they have to like shock. It needs to be like a 15-second shock like every time. It's
Well,
like
it's like just
resuscitate the freaking
look for
crowd,
the biggest creator, Mr. Beast, right?
right?
His stuff is like, oh my gosh, people who do this are going to win $1 million, and they're doing some crazy stunt or something like
Yeah,
that. And that's one of the most known personalities probably in the world now.
in the world.
And it all comes from just doing shocking
Shock.
stuff
Yeah.
like
And
that.
like making you feel like you can be the one.
Right, right. Making you feel like you can absolutely be that guy or that girl that gets
Yes.
all the attention. Real here, I'm going to pause just so we're on. We almost missed a whole topic, and that was the Iran war risk. Uh, do
We're
you
in
over?
war?
We are. Do you over in California feel the Iran war economically? And I guess I'm really asking gas wise. That's probably the biggest way you would feel it.
Absolutely. Like, okay, the last time we talked about gas, and I always bitch about this, and
Yes.
you guys all know if you've been watching us for a long time, I'm always saying something about our gas here. So I think the last time I brought it up, we were at 5. I think
Okay.
I'm like, oh, we're 490 or whatever. We're at 7.
Just in what has been 3 weeks now, we went from $2 ahead from 5 to 7.
Yeah. And I pay 91, right? So I'm at 7. But 697 if someone
Yeah,
wants
I know.
to
Yeah, it's
correct me. Some people will be like, it's not 7. But in LA, it's 8.
in the city center. It's 8 because
Mhm.
they know you kind of got like if you need it and you're in LA, you pay whatever you have to at
Isn't
that
that
point.
insane? You know what I have been feeling for years? I'm like, these are like Dubai prices because we would talk to people from Dubai or in Dubai, like in the crypto space on spaces when we'd go
Right.
on. And I'd be like, hey, how much is this there? How much is this? And they would say, oh, this is $10. Like this snack is $10 and this and that. And I remember thinking as prices inflate that it was becoming similar. Like, oh, and that would be my example. Like, oh, it's like Dubai now.
Well, it's going to be everywhere because your governor is probably our next president. So I guess
Nah.
I'm going to get the.
Yeah, I know, like it's so funny, right? But like, and I get mad too because I'm like, you can't vote this dude in. Like, this has to be, we're the highest cost of living in the United States. Like, we
Yes.
number one. Why the heck would you? I don't care if you like him or not. Like, but why would you vote him to be the
Uh,
president when he can't get this place under control?
and
Doesn't
that's
matter
definitely going to
what
be the
side of
knock.
politics.
Yeah,
Correct.
and that's going to be the knock on him is well, you can't even run your own state. What makes you could think you run the other 49?
And our homeless population has increased like 100 times over since he's been in. And who knows if it's just like he had, it's not necessarily his fault, but you are in control here, and the solutions and the money that's missing for like the homeless resources and all this stuff, it's just too much. And because he was in control for X amount of time, yes, we are blaming you. Like, I'm sorry if you like him or not, or what politics you like. If even if you're Democrat or liberal or Republican, like, or if you're Democrat or liberal and you like him, you must admit that he is not doing a good job here. Like, come
Yeah,
on.
but listen, remember, we're all rooting for our home team, and we're either a 1 of a liberal or 2 or a 10 for the alt right. That's how
No,
the right is always the alt right. You've got to be one of the two. And right now, people are pissed
cannot.
at the current administration. They're pissed at Trump, and I'm call it worried, but or maybe concerned that people are going to swing the wheel the other way so hard that no matter who the Democratic
Oh,
candidate is, even if it's Gavin Newsom, they will vote because they'll be like, well, we can't continue doing what we've been doing,
no.
even though, gosh, we're in trouble. I don't know.
Oh,
That's all I
no.
have to say.
And what I have to say is if you are currently upset at this administration for whatever it is, whatever political side you're on, you're mad because of things are being handled, whatever. The answer is not swing to the other extreme. Like
Yeah.
we must start looking for politicians that actually see a lot of things like without just like oh division involved like oh that's too left that's too right like no okay I do agree with that no I don't agree with and it doesn't matter you pick and choose like the things that you agree with on each side we have not had
But
one of this.
what you're asking for is a moderate, right?
Yeah,
And the fact of the matter is, a moderate that says like, whoa, 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 left, you've lost your mind. Whoa, 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 far right, you've lost your mind. That guy doesn't get elected, right? Because
right,
neither of the two want to vote that
right.
person in,
And
and
I
they don't
don't
get elected.
know. I don't really know if it's us or if it's just a rigged freaking thing. Like that's the point
Maybe
I'm
you're
at
right,
now, you know?
because let me just say this: if you and I went now on all the spaces, if I went on some of the, and I'm just talking the audio
Which we
spaces,
should start.
we
Yeah.
should do that. But
Yeah.
but I'm just saying, if you and I went in as a guest on there and we said, "Do you guys want moderates?" Right? I think a lot of people would be like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't want somebody that's crazy right, crazy left." I think people would agree with that. But whenever it comes to actually who gets in, it never is that. It
Yeah,
never is.
because we have no say really.
Yeah, that's what I was alluding to. Is it
Yeah.
seems like what my thumb of the pulse on the pulse of America is seems like we don't want this far extremism in either direction. That's what it seems like. But the
Right.
polls always say different. The polls always have the guy that is the Republican nominee is going to be a straight up the most conservative possible. And the guy that's the left nominee, guy or girl that's the left nominee, is going to be straight up liberal, the most liberal you could possibly be. Even I think the Biden administration was trying to prove how liberal they were. You know, let's put the Health and Human Services person that is a different identifies different than their assigned gender, that sort of thing. So
Yeah, it's always an extreme. And like as a society, we need to move away from that. But as I say that, you're right. We'll hop into a different, just skip around to different crowds on
yes,
here on X, and we'll find that most people are gonna say, hey, yeah, a more moderate like candidate would
yeah,
be amazing. So do we actually really have a say? And I don't think so. And you just said that as well, and it's maddening.
it's maddening because it makes you feel. You know, we're supposed to have this great democratic system.
We don't. Yeah.
And let me throw one more thing, and I swear I'm going to move on to crypto ATMs, but because that's the next topic. But even more thing is, I feel like right now we've got our representatives. Like each state has representatives. You have your Senate, and your representatives, and I feel like the representatives aren't even doing the will of the people right now. They're doing the will of what they think their commanders of the party want them to do. And I
Right.
think sometimes the will of the people is not aligned with what maybe the words from above are saying to do. So who are they answering to? Each representative is supposed to represent their district, and I think that's not the case. I think instead they're representing either their own interests or what they feel like the party lines are supposed to be. And why do they get to keep on doing that? Because we keep on electing them or somebody keeps on electing them, putting into there. So
It's
anyway,
maddening. It's so maddening. Yeah, and it just is what it is. Like we will get new administrations hoping for change, no matter what side we're on, and then we just keep getting worse.
getting worse. Yes, I don't want $7 gas. Doesn't matter with me. I got a Tesla, but yeah, I don't. I still don't want
Hey,
$7
has like
gas.
prices changed on that? Like,
Electricity?
yeah.
Not yet. Not yet. No. So I can at least say because sometimes there is a price change per kilowatt hour or something
Mhm.
like that. But at least as of right now, I have not seen anything from the war that has changed the price of electricity. All right. Next up, Utah, the state of Utah. There's a city in Utah that has banned cryptocurrency ATMs. Okay, they passed an ordinance banning all ATMs within this city, following reports of $2 million losses due to crypto ATM fraud between 2021 and 2025. First of all, let me ask this. I think I've asked you this before. Have you ever used a crypto ATM? Have you ever traded in dollars for Bitcoin at a gas station?
No, I always associate it. The idea is cool because we love crypto, but I've
Sure.
always associated it with some kind of fraud or scam. And I always feel like if I ever used it, someone's going to steal my information.
So, okay, I have used a crypto ATM before, a little bit out of novelty. But I think one time I did want to get, at the time, you had to wait like 2, 3 days to put money into Coinbase and get, anyway, I needed it quickly. So I went to a crypto ATM. I'm not worried about the ATM itself stealing stuff. But I think what this Utah city is concerned about is the whole thing where they call your grandma up and say, there's a warrant out for your arrest, and the only way you can
Oh,
get it
yeah.
is by giving out this amount of Bitcoin. And then on the phone, little old Gertrude will walk into the gas station
Oh,
saying,
yep.
"What? Where am I supposed to go?" And then she goes and she clears out her bank account, converts it to crypto, and
I
then
feel
sends
like
it to the guy.
that's what it's for.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that is kind of how it's been
It's been
used.
being used, yeah.
Right. Couldn't, well, I was going to say, doesn't that make regular ATMs suspect as well? But I guess not because it leaves such a paper trail on those evil
Yeah.
centralized ways of doing
And it's
things.
so like regulated times a million. Like we have the what is it called? The FIDC or whatever the heck it's called.
FDIC, yeah.
FDIC, yeah. We have that and we have like, it's just much more regulated, but when you think of crypto ATMs, you always have heard of like, oh yeah, I heard a story about like a grandma going up and
Uh,
you know.
it's either that, but okay. Let me answer this: should we ban gift cards? Because that's the other thing that they want all the time is gift cards. And should we ban gift cards? And I know your answer is no, because
Right.
why would we ever want to ban a good gift card? But that is the other thing that the scammers go after is we're going to need, $300 in Target gift cards and Amazon gift cards.
I
But
know.
by the way, I did have somebody call me the other day and say I didn't show up for jury duty and that they had a warrant out for my arrest. Okay. And my wife was with me at the time and she was like, "This is a scam. This is a scam." I was like, I know. So I had him on there and I was like, "Well, great. We're in the car right now. I'll just drive up to the police station and we'll get this taken care of." "No, no, no. You don't need to do that. If you do that, they're going to arrest you." And I tried to say something funny like, "Great, I
Good.
get away. I get away from my kids for a night or something like
Yeah.
that."
I want
And
to be arrested so I can stop paying top dollar for all these groceries.
that's exactly right. And I said, "Bring it on." That's what I said, and immediately hung up. So yes, I did have somebody try
He's
to.
like, I hate smart people.
Exactly. I don't like it whenever they do that thing. All right, let me.
You're too scam savvy.
Well, I don't know. I certainly my
For
early
now,
days
for
of
now.
crypto. Yeah,
Yeah.
about to say certainly my early days of crypto. I don't know that that would be the case. All right, just a second. Let me refresh something. All right, let's talk about some deadly fat. You're wondering, voice, what
Deadly
does deadly
fat.
fat mean? Well, there are some that are clamoring for a new kind of plastic surgery. Okay. And instead of an implant like a silicone based implant for breasts or any other type of implant that you might be thinking of, they're going to start using dead people's fat. Dead people's fat. Are you interested? Is
Dead
this
people's fat for what?
well, they get dead people's fat and then inject that into your butt or your boobs or whatever. And now you get the shape you want with Aunt Clarice's spare belly fat that she died and she doesn't want it
Ugh.
anymore.
This world is pissing me off.
Why don't you want why don't you like science? This is an advancement in
First of all,
science.
I liked old science, okay, not necessarily new science. And then second, imagine like you're an organ donor and then like they're like, "Hey, you didn't freaking think that you were going to be donating your fat to like some cosmetic BS."
Wouldn't you feel so good though that your fat is used for a movie star? Wouldn't that just make you post death feel so good about contributing to society that your own fat now is walking around under somebody's chin?
Oh, what the freak? Wait, first of all, why would someone want to get fat on their chin? They're trying to get rid of fat on their chin.
Uh, yeah, you're right.
You're
I'm
so
not
out
very
of
good at
touch with
this.
cosmetic.
I'm not very good at this. Yes,
Okay, but
yes.
I wouldn't want my fat to be living on someone's butt, you know?
Okay, well, what if? Okay, entrepreneur idea.
Always,
You
we
get
always.
fat on purpose, but don't die. Now, this story is about cadaver fat,
Okay,
right?
okay. Yeah.
But you get fat on purpose and then donate that fat or sell, not donate, sell that fat for maximum profit. Okay. Only fats.
Okay.
Okay. this is this has got legs.
Oh my
Chubby
God, that's
legs.
so good. Only fats. Like, have you ever thought of just, you look good, but you could look great if you
You
went
could
into
look great.
only fats and just put some down there. I don't know. I think that's weird, but that has some legs that people could. I think that's fine if you want to sell your fat or donate your fat to a friend or someone.
Ooh,
But
donate fat to a friend. Okay.
donate fat to a friend. Just like, people need kidneys and stuff like that, and we could donate that to a friend or family or someone, a stranger in need. Um,
Why does it have
so
to be
why can't you
cadaver
do fat?
fat?
I
Why,
know that's what I'm saying. Why does it have to be cadaver fat?
I don't know. I've always heard, you'll okay. Maybe you
And
sure,
I
you've
just feel
been
like it's not going to be good in the long run. Like, how do we know in 10 years it's not going to infect you?
I
I
know
don't know.
you've probably been in these conversations, but I've seen where there will be two girls that I'm talking to. One of them will be, let's call it very blessed up top, and the other girl will not be. And the one girl that is not will say like, "Gosh, I wish you could donate some
Oh,
of yours."
yeah.
And the busty girl will be like, "I wish I could donate, because she wants like a reduction." Well,
Is that how we
can that
sound?
not happen? Can that not actually happen? What am I missing? I'm not a surgeon. I don't
Right.
know.
I think along with this story, you might have missed that there is a little section that says, and of course, it doesn't have to be cadaver fat. If you would like to donate to your friend, you can.
Which, by the way, and this is going to be a thing. This cadaver fat thing. It says it can cost as much as $100,000 per procedure for this
Dude,
cadaver fat.
this is
So
literally pissing me off.
um, I would call that LA prices for this because
This
that
is like,
seems higher than what I would think for a cosmetic procedure.
this is absolutely unbelievable. Like, where are we going as a society? Like, we're becoming like smarter, crazier tech, crazy AI. Like, we should be evolving, but I feel like we're not.
Well,
I
here's
feel like we're not.
here's the thing. As far as we said, movie stars are a thing of the past. Okay, because in the future it'll all be AI generated movie stars, and so there won't be
Correct.
humans that are movie stars anymore. But we will continue to make ourselves as shapely as possible, so that yeah, movie stars no shapely as possible with dead people's fat. Yes. Sorry, I don't make the rules. I don't make the future.
Have
That's
you
just what it's
seen
going to be.
Shia LaBeouf, speaking of stars and no more actors, Shia LaBeouf, like he's crashing out all the time right now.
Yes, he is.
Huge fan of him, but let's just talk about that for a second. Like his crash outs, like that's what like all the celebrities are gonna be doing because AI is just gonna take all their
Yeah.
careers. Like what are they, they're gonna have to find a way to make the same amount, like, and that is probably most likely not possible, like make millions like playing a role, but if AI takes that from you, and then it's going to take the voiceovers, and then like the waivers and the likeliness clauses are going to be gone. Like what do? You're just going to have Shia LaBeouf crash outs all
You
day.
will have crash outs as on the way down. Eventually, I think that actual human actors, remember this, write this down. Actual human actors, it's going to be reserved for like indie films. You know how like vinyl records are like still kind of like popular because people are like, that's the real sound, man, the analog sound, right? And
Mhm.
that's going to be this movie here that I'm going to see at Sundance Film Festival. It's so cool. It's got it's got human actors in it, man. So you know it's like real human emotion, right? So it'll be like this niche thing that people want to go see human movies, much like they want to hear
They're
a
already,
vinyl record.
well, they're already doing that. Like with, I don't know if you've noticed, but a lot of actors have been going back to Broadway, like Adrian
Yes.
Brody and everybody. And it's amazing, right? Like to me, I'm like, oh, yes, I would love to go see a play with him actually in it. We went to one with like Tom Hanks in it and stuff like so. And you're like, you're seeing them play out this role in real life. Like you didn't think that that would happen, but you are seeing it more and more until the robots come. And
Well, you're
then
right, but that's a great point that in-person acting may get a, we may get a renaissance
I
of
think so.
like
But will they get millions?
Shakespearean time.
No,
No, they won't get millions.
no.
You could have people
Ticket
rich.
sales,
Yeah, you could have
ticket sale
people
portions.
have lots of money, but I don't think to the degree that,
20
you're
million a roll and whatever.
correct.
Not gonna happen.
Those days I think are dwindling and will be gone very soon. All right, next up, future salaries. Former
Oh, I love
Uber,
this.
well, listen to this. Former Uber CEO. Okay, so this guy knows the future, right? He's the
Yes, he
Uber
does.
CEO. Okay. Travis Kalanick believes that automation could flip job value perceptions. Our last conversation goes right into this.
Okay.
He suggested that plumbers could earn like LeBron James in the future economy. Is he
Wow.
crazy to think that a plumber could actually earn like an NBA basketball star in the future?
So I've been hearing a lot lately about career paths. I'm sure you have too, that the new multimillionaires will be electricians and plumbers. I keep hearing that. And they're like, and it's often overlooked. High schools don't talk to the kids about it. It's always just like, go get this and whatever, blah, blah, blah. But in reality, these are the new multimillionaires in the future. My devil's advocate to that is like, yes, I agree because a lot of that is overlooked and there's shortages because a lot of the kids don't go into it. But
Yeah.
until AI takes it over, and it's not something that can't be taken over. Like, I don't know why they're acting like it's not.
Uh, I think, okay, I'm just going to talk about plumbing here. I think plumbing, it'll be a while before plumbing is taken over. That seems rather hard. You have to go in and diagnose why is your toilet clogged, right? Okay, because if it knew already, I don't know. It seems like
But
we're a while
they
from like
already,
that.
they already use like the cameras and stuff. Like when they come and then they put the cameras
Yes,
in and they'll like have their computers and look and okay, this and that. If they're already using technology like that, what makes them not have like some robot thing that just goes in and snakes through and like
snakes
analyzes
through
and
the
whatever?
poo, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
And then a Tesla robot is the plumber that comes in. He has a mini Tesla snake robot thing that goes into the pipes.
so it goes into the pipes, it figures out what's wrong, it fixes it, and then it also tells you, hey, I looked at your poop and you're vitamin deficient. You're,
Correct.
you're
Yeah,
deficient in your
because yeah,
vitamins.
like why if that's not that far fetched, I don't think.
I mean, I don't know. I've had a plumber come in. He looks in. He tries to snake through. He says, "Oh, this thing's broken. We're gonna need to go get another one." And then they have to take out the old toilet and bring in the new one. I don't know. It just seems tough for a robot to do now. Now, just to be clear, Christine, I'm not saying that this won't happen.
I feel
Your
a
your whole
bet. I
scenario.
feel a bet coming on.
Well, it's too long because I do think this happens. Well, wait a second. What's your time frame for this? What's your time frame
I
for what
think
you're
in the
saying?
next 10 years, maybe on the 10th year,
10.
plumbing will be absolutely almost 80% taken over by AI technology. I do think we'll have plumbers, but they won't be as needed, like many bodies needed for this.
Yes, okay. I think I can agree with that. I think every plumber visit will be at least one human to then bring in the robots to fix it from there.
But
So I
in the
think I agree with
meanwhile,
you.
let's go into plumbing.
Okay, let's do it. Let's learn. Maybe I should get my kids to learn more
No,
about plumbing.
you actually should. And you know that I have like a senior in high school, and a lot of the boys like are, I guess, going into electrician and plumbing. So
Electrician will definitely. But the thing is, if you're saying that plumbing can get taken over by automation, then electricity could too, right? Because they even, for
mhm.
electricians, they even have the ability to not get shocked, right? And they can use materials and touch wires that humans couldn't touch because they would
Yes.
die.
And it's crazy on that end, devil's advocate again. I'm like, oh, what is that? Like, why are they saying electricians? And then someone explained it. And then I said, okay, but it could get taken over by robots, blah, blah, blah. And then they
Right.
said, yeah, but there's shortages, and as AI grows and data centers and all this stuff, there's not enough electricians like handling all these outages and what AI is. It's building so aggressively, and we have less and less electricians. Okay, well, problem solved. All these kids realize they're going to be multimillionaires being electricians and plumbers, but until AI takes all the
Until
work.
it's all, we have been consistent in our doom and gloom
I
over the last couple
know.
of years. That's
You
okay. That's
know,
okay.
we wake up and we're like, fuck
We're like,
this.
what? Yeah, what job is going to be taken today? Right, exactly. All right, Wall Street. Speaking of the future, Wall Street's predicting big gains for Bitcoin. Wall Street broker Bernstein anticipates further gains for Bitcoin, predicting its price could reach $150,000 by the end of the year, making a significant shift in the market outlook. Are we out of the bull market, or are we, how like whenever we go into the bear market, we're there for like a couple years, right?
Correct.
Are we there as we hang around 70,000, or are we not through with the bull run? Is this a momentary pullback and are we going to go all the way to 150 by the end of the year? And let me tell you, I see this prediction a lot about some pretty big jump. And I mean, this is almost doubling of what it is right now. So that'd be a pretty significant jump.
So I feel like I just don't want to make really a prediction, but I think that we're not out of the bull. But I'm hardly ever bearish, so I might just be having issues.
Yeah, but I think you're hardly ever bearish because I think you tend to look at things in a macro. You zoom out quite a bit on standard,
Yeah.
and for that, of course, I agree. Of course, I agree that it's going up and on the whole. By the end of the year, 150.
Oh, yeah, no,
Oh,
I don't.
I don't know,
We'd
man.
have to have some crazy, like, the
Well,
dollar completely just crashed because of
well,
all this war.
that's and that's what this gets to, right? Is you and I have always talked about, could we get to $1 million Bitcoin? And I've always said yes, but it's not the $1 million you think it is.
Hmm.
And so if we get to 150 by the end of the year, it would be something very similar. The dollar is worth barely anything, and you know what I mean, relatively, and it makes Bitcoin worth more just because the Bitcoin buying power stays the same because its supply is capped. And then obviously
That's
we just keep
definitely
on printing money, and that
definitely
makes it
how
to
it's
where
going to be.
I don't
We
like to
just
be
don't know
right.
when. But
I
this
know.
war makes me think that that prediction could be more likely because who knows where this war takes us. And, North Korea just said that we're a terrorist country.
Well, I'm sure they do think that. We think that about them. All right,
Yeah.
let's talk about the science of mass delusion. This is interesting. So, there's new research that highlights that the science behind mass delusion and the potential of control via CBDCs, AI surveillance, and 5G. Okay.
Okay,
Here's the
okay.
thing this article, okay, it's from Natural News. Okay. It talks about, it's from a book, and it says the book is called Breaking the Spell: The Hypnotic Science of Reclaiming Your Mind in a World of Mass Delusion. And it talks about how it gets almost trendy, as you and I talk about the world kind of ending to AI, to think that some big thing is going to happen to be able to, take down humanity, that sort of thing. And I read this article and I'm almost like, are you trying to make me look the other way while the fire is happening? Are you trying to make me the "this is fine"
Yeah.
meme? Because that's a little bit. It says the book offers tools to break hypnotic control, auditing beliefs for hidden beneficiaries, disrupting propaganda patterns, detoxing from digital echo chambers, and adopting self reliant practices like gardening, cash use,
Oh my
detoxing
gosh.
from big pharma, all these things. I guess here's my question as far as mass delusion. Do you think you and I tend to be pretty skeptical. You are more skeptical than I am. Are we both a product of mass delusion where we hear things that are like sky is falling type of things and really believe that and go full force into it, lean into it a little bit? Or are the delusional people, or not delusional people, are the people that say the sky's falling correct? Is it correct? What's the right one?
I think we, like personally, I think you and I always question even our own beliefs, and we're
Yes.
questioning the reality that we live in daily to analyze. So I don't think we're ever part of a delusion. And if we are, then could have fooled me because I thought questioning the current reality that you wake up to every day is part of like checking out of any kind of delusion or hypnotism that may be happening. I
Well,
think what they're talking about is putting you into some kind of
listen to
delusion.
this hypnotism, and this is what they're talking about. We're constantly bombarded by three manipulators. Okay,
Okay. I
give me a
believe
second.
that.
I'm going to pause this because this is good enough that I want to hear it. All right, here's the three manipulators. Repetition. The more we hear the phrase
The more you believe
"safe,
it.
safe and effective," it's a climate emergency. The more that repetition bypasses our critical thinking and embeds itself as truth. Okay.
Mhm.
Uh, the other manipulator, emotion. We have fear, outrage, and urgency. All those things shut down our own logic. Okay. COVID 19 fear porn and climate doomerism are textbook examples. And I do agree with that. COVID 19 was a great example of mass delusion where everybody was like, oh my gosh, literally half the world's population could die from this virus that started in Wuhan. Whenever that was just fear porn, that was just, oh my gosh, everything, sky is falling. And we did hear it so much that I think a certain percentage of the population just took it as truth, just said, like, it must be truth. Give me the vaccine. We are all going to die. Give me the vaccine. All right. And then the last one that we are constantly bombarded by is authority. We hear titles like a doctor or an expert, or they're a part of the World Health Organization. These things trigger blind obedience. Okay. You hear some of these titles and they have authority that goes with them. They have blind obedience. So, anyway, I put this story on here, or AI put this story on here because it's who chooses
Our
these
topics.
topics. Yeah. Um, I found it to be really interesting with things that you and I talk about. Of
Uh-huh.
not only are we in a world where things are changing so much, but we also have these three core manipulators: repetition, emotion, and authority, that are constantly bombarding our sense of ability to critically think. So
I believe
crazy,
that.
crazy
I
stuff.
think that that's what they do use intentionally to get a majority of us to think the same way. It's like a hive mind like
Yeah.
thing that happens if you use all these three manipulators to do so. But I do not think that we land in the delusional category.
No, I don't think so either. All right, next up, a Florida Airbnb guest. She caused $5,355 in damages. Now,
Ooh.
Christine, you are our Airbnb correspondent. You
Oh,
know about that.
yeah, yeah.
How do you think she caused $5,355 in damage?
I would say she had a party.
Okay, she had a party. Okay, and she destroyed some
Yes.
things.
Like
Okay,
her, yeah, her guests.
okay, okay. It says a Pensacola woman has been arrested for allegedly. The next word will tell us whether you were right.
Okay.
Peeing on and damaging furniture items in two local Airbnbs. Okay, and so now do you feel like you understand what this what
Peeing
happened?
on.
$5,000. So you're wondering, like, maybe she was drunk at the party, right? And she peed on the couch, right? Well,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
might
yeah.
be a decent guess. Okay.
Okay.
But later, the owner of the Airbnb found on an adult content website that showed the woman peeing in the unit and causing damage. She reportedly found an antique Crown Royal chair, rug, typewriter, four dining room chairs, coffee maker, bed, TV, record player, toaster, and electric fireplace needed to be replaced. Police reports say that this person allegedly peed on other items at another Airbnb owned by the same person on the same street, where they found a vase, green rug, accent wall, chair, and tiger rug
Oh
were
my
also
God.
peed on. Um, Christine, why do people watch porn
Of
that
peeing.
pee?
Well, there's like, right, like the defecation stuff too is like a big deal. So I would guess that a golden shower on couches and items is probably a thing. That's just as shocking as that viral headline. I'm sure that you heard as well about the coffee pots in hotel rooms and stuff like that.
I
People wash their
haven't.
underwear in there and then like pee in there.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my
And
gosh.
so that's why a lot of hotel rooms don't really cater to that anymore and they have the Keurigs. But then now people started putting their underwear in the Keurigs, like instead of the pot, like
Just
they
because
put
they'll
their
get
underwear in
off
there.
on having
They
their
were saying like, "Oh, it cleans it." But I'm like, "No, that's like sick. Like you're doing something weird."
yeah, yeah, because whenever I have my hot cup of coffee in the morning, I don't want it to have some stranger's vag juices on it.
Right.
That
And
doesn't.
now I'm like, because I would love using like, the Keurigs in there, but now
Now
nothing
you
is safe. And then who knows? They're probably just filming it and putting it on these weird websites that people like weird things.
So let's say I'm a young aspiring actress, okay? Porn actress,
Oh,
okay? And I'm like, where should I like really say like this is who I am? And then somebody comes up to me and they say, "You know, you could pee on furniture for money." And then is that whenever I'm like, "Yeah, that's me. That's what I could do. I have so many options of things I could do in this industry. I'm going to be the pee girl." How does that is that how it
God. You know what pisses me off too is like
sorry.
we always accidentally do stuff like that. Okay, but also all her other Airbnbs, she probably checked into hotels and stuff. She was doing that. And who knows if people
She's a
ever,
serial urinator.
yes, serial
Yes.
urinator, and people probably didn't ever find out. Second, how did that owner end up running into that site and finding?
I've got to think he was tipped off, or I don't know. Maybe he found it under his natural browsing habits. I don't know.
Or
You know.
looked up their name. I don't know.
Oh, could
Yeah.
be. I suppose so. Well, assuming that girl goes by not by a stage name that's called like a.
Well, with our AI and Claude and ChatGPT, it's like, hey, help me find aliases for this person. I don't know.
I was trying to think up a funny name for a porn star for urination, like
Dude, what a freaking sicko. This is why we can't freaking really have nice things, really. And we have to have so many laws and regulations and permits because of people like her.
I would name
People
myself
like her.
People. I got it with the PEE. I would name myself Latrine if I was her. I think that would be a good
Latrine.
name. That's a name for like a outhouse, like bathroom. And
Oh
say,
my gosh. That's funny.
all right, tokenized stocks. You and I've talked about for a long time as we were really into crypto and you were really into OTC. And I always
Yeah.
said, well, why don't they actually tokenize stocks? Well, see if you've heard of this group, the New York Stock Exchange.
Who's that?
They're partnering with a group called Securitize to build a platform for tokenized stocks, signaling a growing acceptance and integration in blockchain tech and traditional finance. So
Love it.
this is going to happen. Like the New York Stock Exchange is going to tokenize stocks. So you and
Yep.
I've talked about this as like this could happen someday. Someday is here. I mean,
It's here. Yeah, it's
I
here.
don't know how long it'll take them to like have it go to market, but
I think
this
we're gonna
thing's
have it this
happening.
year
I think
because
so too.
yeah, Coinbase and everyone or Coinbase and who else? They were like, "Hey, you could buy stocks here now." And then you know what they're doing.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and of course Coinbase wants to because they want to be the holder of all,
The
their basic.
go-to.
Yeah, they want to be the go-to, and they probably will. They
No, it's
probably
gonna
will be
be
that.
X when he
Well, I
hurries
know
up.
Elon would like that to
Hurries
happen.
up.
That's why he's getting all those money transfer in certificates. All right, this is interesting. We don't even have to spend the full 3 minutes on this, but are you familiar with like roof inspections of your house where they'll get like a drone to like go over your house and look for damage that hail may have caused? I don't know. Do y'all have hail in California? Is that a thing?
Sometimes.
Okay, yeah,
Hmm.
we have it fairly often. Well, anyway, they'll get a drone to look over your roof. Back in the '80s, they would have had to have somebody like crawl on your roof and look for damage. Now they can do a drone. But another job lost because now
Yep.
a roof inspection platform is expanding nationwide. They're using AI now to just fly over your house and instantly analyze from the ground using AI the issues with your roof. No human involved.
That's what
So
I'm
just go.
saying. That's what I was saying about
Yeah.
plumbing and good old
Uh,
electric.
Another one bites the dust, right?
Yeah.
So, like I said, used to be a human, crawled on your roof and took his own life, at risk by getting on top of your roof. Then we use drones. Now we're using drones with AI. So yeah, the
Another
hits.
one bites the dust.
Another one bites the dust. All right, next up, in our last topic, financial guru Dave Ramsey. You like him? What do you think of him?
I never got too into Dave Ramsey, but I've seen a bunch of videos and people either love or hate him.
Yeah, I don't like him a whole lot. I
Yeah.
think he doesn't understand the modern economy.
Hmm.
I've seen him like really get on to like a young couple for how much they were spending on childcare, on like daycare.
Okay.
Whenever at the time I was like deep into having kids at that age, and I'm like, well, Dave, that's how much it costs. Like he just doesn't understand
Right.
how much things cost now, and he now, a lot of things he says where he's, don't go into debt when you don't need to and things like that. He believes you should have just zero debt at all times. I agree with a lot of what he says in principle, but a lot of what he says in principle isn't actually in actuality of how it goes. Anyway, financial guru Dave Ramsey criticizes financial planners, and he says that most financial planners are, and this is his quote, full of crap. His comments highlight ongoing debates around personal finance strategies and the role of financial advisors. So, a lot of financial advisors will say it's okay to have a little bit of debt, and he definitely hates having a little bit of debt, that sort of
Okay.
thing. And people, he Ramsey has definitely an army of people that are ready
Yeah.
to
Bite
fight
your
for
head
him.
off. Yeah.
Correct. But I myself say that I think a lot of the principles that he talks about is
Out of
important.
touch.
But well, I think they're important, but they are out of touch. Yes, you've got it right. They're important, but I just don't think that he understands how much things cost right now and how the difference is. I think what he would say, like Christine, he would say, you need to move. You need to go into a small little, closet of an apartment, sort of a thing, and save a whole bunch of money. That's what his advice would be to you. And some people are like, they don't want to make that change. They don't want
Right.
to downsize to that degree. But that's what he would say, and people just have a lot of difficulty having to hear that. 'Cause I don't want to do that either, So
Right.
um, I,
I
I get
think
it.
it's old school, like traditional ways, I think, that haven't changed. But there's
Yeah.
not, I think, as we've been in like the just learning about finance for all these years, I think
Hmm.
what is true is that there's no one answer for everyone about debt relief or how to navigate your finances. And everyone's different, and everyone has a different expectation or different limit to what they are willing to do and not do. So there's not a one answer way. And he's very like, this is the way, or you're just dumb and it's not going to work.
It's so, out of all the things we talk about, in addition to what jobs you could get that don't require a
Degrees.
4-year degree,
Yeah.
or what jobs you could get that won't be taken by AI, don't you think for today's young people, there is just so much to consider? What job can I get that'll still be here in 20 years? What job can I get that pays me enough to actually allow me to move out of my parents' house? What job can I get to be able to go on a date and be able to woo this woman or this man, whatever. Uh, all those things, yes, some of those things every generation have had to deal with, but not the economy crashing to the degree that it is right now with the threat of jobs not being around like that AI are taking. So it's a different world that we're in right now, and I don't know that Dave Ramsey has moved on with that. There will be somebody else that'll take his place that maybe will understand the current world, but I don't think it's Mr. Ramsey.
Yeah, I don't think so either. He's just stuck in
Yeah,
his way. His way or the
I
highway.
that's right, and he would just say his way. All right, that is all of our topics today. We went longer than sometimes we normally do because we stuck on some of our topics quite a bit, but some of them were really important topics. I'm glad we were able to get into them a little much.
Yes. And we've been gone for 2 weeks.
Hey, I see you've got a pencil or pen in your hand. Are you drawing?
Yeah,
Well,
because
I want to know what you're
it
drawing.
helps with my ADHD, my undiagnosed ADHD, to actually be listening more in depth if I'm drawing.
Can we see the result?
Okay. On one of them.
That is incredible. Okay. Can we make this part of the show from now on
Oh
where
my
like in the
God.
beginning you draw something and then at the end we see the result?
Yeah.
This is incredible. Yes.
But
I
did you ever hear that? Like, they've realized, because good old science or whatever has
yes.
realized that a lot of the kids that would be drawing or doodling in school, it was actually helping them like concentrate.
Yeah, I've heard that where you
Yeah.
can it's like your mind needs something to quiet itself by having a task it quiets itself while you can listen to the other things and
Yeah.
they go on.
To the
Yeah,
lectures or whatever.
correct. Completely get that. But yes, I think in the future, yes, we should tell people in the beginning that you were going to be drawing, and then we will have that come out. And
Oh
what's
my
more is
God.
I thought you were drawing on like an iPad with like a Apple Pencil or something like that. But no, you're actually with an actual
Trying on a
tool.
post-it with a
Yeah.
freaking pencil.
Is your
Oh
house
my
just
God.
filled with doodles?
No, because I'm kind of like a freak of like trying to clean everything up like
So this
as
will
I
end up in
walk
the
through.
trash. This will end
Yes.
up in the trash. Okay.
Yes. But when I used to have like a 9 to 5 in an office setting, people would walk by the cubicle or the front desk and they're like, "What's all these post-its everywhere with drawings like of eyeballs and like people?" And I'm like, "Oh, I don't know." And they're just like, "That's odd." And they would just look at all of them like, "Oh, that's crazy. Like there's more and more and more." And I think because I'd be on the phone or like listening to whatever it is, and then I'm just drawing constantly.
Can you this may be like no, this wouldn't be ADHD helping, but can you make it like a rap battle? You know how in rap battle people give like 3 words and they have to then use those 3 words in their freestyle rap. Um, can you take like if I said like Airbnb, can you make that
I
part of what you draw?
think I could.
Okay. Well,
I think
I
I
think in the
could.
future we should somehow tie
Doodle
in.
topic.
Well, tie in what the topic of the day is into your doodle, and then this will keep people watching for watch time because they will want to know what the final. They'll want to stick around to the end to see the final result. So
That's
just
so funny because yeah, and we could do that, but that's so funny because I didn't think that you could see me drawing. I thought it just looked like I was like writing.
well, I could see that. Well, fine. I wanted to hear you say like, "Oh, I'm
Oh my
writing a
God.
song." I don't know. I just saw the pencil, so I just wondered what
That's
it was. So,
hilarious.
yeah, I'll see if I can clip
I
this
should have
out
said
to
taking notes.
taking notes. Oh yeah, just everything that we're
You're like,
saying
okay,
here.
let me see. I'm like,
No, and it's
it's
just like,
cutting out. And then I would have
right.
just,
I gotta go. Gotta go. All
yeah.
right, this is good, y'all. I will see if I can clip this, or I can put a little clip of you doing the reveal. That would be pretty funny. All right, that is it for today. Let's do this thing again next week, and until then, I think we're
Ta-ta.
done. All right, peace. Later.
Chasing the thrill of the digital hive. Toxic tech in a renegade code. This is the path where the bold explode. Behind the charts, the story unfolds. Fortunes are built in the data it holds. From crypto skies to entertainment streams, pushing the edge, chasing dreams unseen. By the roar, the story unfolds. Fortunes are built in the data it holds. From crypto skies to entertainment streams, pushing the edge, chasing dreams unseen. By the rumor where the silence screams, in a world of risks and electric dreams. Take on the future, take the ride. Sharp minds up on the darker side. prices do. Watch the market sway like it's testing you. The gossip's currency is hard to ignore. Behind locked doors lies so much more.